everybody? It's your girl Rachel from What's Up Dallas Magazine. As you know, we're always doing something here in DFW positive, shedding light on business owners doing their thing and being positive with their customers. So I have another great guest on my show. Yesenia, how are you today, ma'am?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Doing wonderful. So, for our viewers that are watching this, can you please tell them your social media and where they can find you?
Yes, so my name is Yesenia Castillo. It's Yesenia. And then my social media is under my name on Facebook. I also have my business page. It's for my construction company. It's under Kong Karpentry with the K Remodeling LLC on Facebook and Instagram if you guys want to follow me.
That's fabulous. And we were talking behind the scenes. Yesenia and I are probably going to link up after this professionally and business wise as well. I'm just telling you, she's got a really, really great remodeling business. And I really want to get to the gist of that. So, for all of our viewers out there, can you please tell them how long you've had your LLC and how long you've been doing construction?
Yes. So the LLC itself was established in 2022. It's been a little over a year now. As far as construction itself, I've been surrounded by it my whole life. My parents have done construction since I was very small. My dad does drywall, and my mom did painting at one point. She retired from it due to health issues, but my stepdad still does it till this day. And then, of course, the reason I started the business was my spouse is the carpenter of Kong Karpentry and Remodeling.
Mhm. Which is really amazing because I know as a business owner, it takes a lot of nerve to get out of your comfort zone to start your own business. So, for those out there, those business owners who are looking for this interview to be a source of inspiration, what made you get out of that comfort zone and take on your own business?
Um, Honestly, if you would have sat me down at the age of 18, straight, well, not even 18, at the age of 17, straight out of high school, I would have never told you, oh, I see myself in 10, 12 years later as a
Mhm.
business owner. 'Cause at that time, my life was a whole different story. I straight out of high school, I was a dance major at TWU in Denton. So it was
Mhm.
a whole different field than what I'm in now. But for this in particular, the idea of being a business owner actually started when I chose to go back to school and pursue my bachelor's in criminal justice. Because
Mhm.
I thought to myself, I was like, I want to be able to make a difference for people who don't really understand the laws
Mhm.
or have a hard time finding the resources that they need when it comes to law in that particular field. So I had already started thinking about it little by little, but then my husband just came home one day and he was like, you know what, I don't want to work for anybody anymore. Like I'd rather just work for myself. So I was like, okay, well, good. I was like, well, then you should, I prompted him I presented the idea to him. I was like, well, you should open up your own business. He's like, no. He was like, you open the business. You start the business. I'll work for you. I'm like, what do you mean? I was like, you do understand I already have my hands pretty full with me being in the law field and then,
Mhm.
a small child. And then I was like, you do understand that's like a whole nother life that I have to run. He was like, you got it, you can do it. He's like, let's do it. Start the business, open up the business, and I'll work for you.
Oh,
Here we are.
wow. That's
Here,
amazing.
here we are.
And that says a lot. That means he has a lot of confidence in you. He really knows that you can get this done. So, I mean, kudos to him for recognizing that you can run your own business. Like that is fantastic. That is amazing. And for I have another question for you. So, for those people who are out there looking for a contractor for remodeling their projects and stuff, what are some of the things that your business specializes in?
So, like the name says it, of course, carpentry, since my spouse is the carpenter. We specialize in carpentry, flooring.
Hmm.
It's both interior, exterior remodeling or renovations, even repairs, roofing, like I said, roofing, flooring, drywall, painting. We do have, I, my company specifically doesn't do foundation work, but I do have somebody as a sub under me that does foundation. So we also have outsourcing for different things that we don't do. But
Mhm.
carpentry is the biggest thing that we specialize in, of course, because my spouse is the carpenter. So a lot of the pieces that I have posted on the business page, Kong Karpentry and Remodeling, are pieces that he has custom made.
Mhm.
These were made from scratch.
That's amazing. I love that. I love that you are a very well-rounded company. Of course, with remodeling, you have to do a whole bunch of things. So I meant to ask you, do you have a website available where people can see your projects?
It's in the works. We did have one already up. It was a little bit outdated, so I took it down and it should be coming out in the next 2 weeks. Because
That's okay.
I rebranded the entire business. So it's all that is still in the works. But yes, the website will be ready in 2 weeks.
Fantastic. I love
Uh,
that.
Yeah,
Uh,
you guys can view our work and the projects that we have in progress right now. They are up on both the Facebook and Instagram pages of
that's
Kong
awesome.
Carpentry.
Y'all better go check it out because they got some really awesome projects they're working on. I've been showing love to the Instagram. I've been stalking her since we met up before our interview because I just want to know everything about her and what she's doing. So that's really fantastic. So basically, you were telling me you have subcontractors too. So if there's something that your people don't exactly do as a specialty, you do have connections with other people that can help, correct?
Yes, we do. And that's the reason why I built that network like that, because I don't like to tell neither my returning clients or my potential clients no. If I have a way to help them, then I'm gonna find a way to help them. Because yes, there's it's gonna be times where they may ask for something in particular and we
Mhm.
don't get, or I don't have the connection, or I don't have somebody that can do it right then and there, but somebody else that I know or another fellow contractor may do it, or they may know somebody. So I like to keep my options open. And if I can't do it, then I'm going to refer them to somebody that I know will help them or is able to get them to where, to get to that particular thing that they're needing that I may not be able to provide at that time.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. And I meant to ask you also, like, as a business owner, how hard has it been for you to get your business started? And what has been your hardest part of owning your own business so far?
Well, being in a male dominated field and being a woman, that
Mhm.
right there has been like the biggest challenge, because you're gonna, and I knew that going into construction because like I said, I'm also in the law field. So it's like
Mhm.
I'm two male dominated fields, two male dominated worlds. But because I have the criminal justice side behind me, for me, it made it a little bit easier to ease my way into construction. Even now, I still struggle. I'm not going to say like, oh, everything's perfect. No, not at all. Like I struggle on a daily because there's still so much that I have to learn
Mhm.
on construction and how to be a business owner. But what has helped me a lot is the background that I have. I did
Mhm.
collections for years. I worked for a finance company for 3 years. And then I have the criminal justice side behind me. So
Mhm.
that together has really helped me a lot to be
That
able to actually navigate my way through like dealing with the city and then learning how to run my bookkeeping and
mhm.
making sure that I stay in compliance. It's all kind of tied in together. But even now, there's still a lot of things that I don't know, like marketing. I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, like what do I do? So I'm still, like I said, I'm still learning little by little how to do all of that and actually really push myself out of my comfort zone. So that's
Right.
been the thing. Because I'm such an introvert and I'm like pushing myself to stop. Like, no, if you want to grow, you're gonna have to do it. It's not if you
Right.
like it or don't like it, you're gonna have to do it. And just constantly keep pushing myself to like, okay, like don't let fear get the best of you.
Mhm.
That's
Absolutely.
been a big problem. It's like, well,
Yeah.
what about that? And it's like, no, like just do it.
That's
Cause
actually that's relatable. It really is. You say it's both of those are very male dominated industries. So it's like you being a woman-owned business, also well, that is a minority-owned business, but Hispanic-owned business as well. So you're already facing with like two different aspects of diversity in such a vast business industry, especially construction. But I used to work for a real estate company a while back. But they owned a lot of business, and you have to be in compliance with the city before you can start doing contracts, things like that. And it's like the fact that that you need certain types of criteria before you can start a project says a lot about you. So education is key, right?
It really is, yes. And actually, before I even filed for the LLC, it took
Mhm.
me of just constant research before
Mhm.
I even made the decision to file for the LLC. I did like research for 6 or 7 months before I even chose to actually like, okay, I'm ready.
Mhm.
And I, with reason, because I told myself, I was like, I don't want to go into business and construction and I have no idea what I'm looking at.
Right. It's so important too. Mhm.
Yes, there's so much at stake, not only because you're dealing with the city, but then you're dealing with stuff at the state level, and then in some cases at federal level. So it's like a constant, like it's all together. So
Mm.
it's be educated and know what you're getting yourself into rather than just going into stuff blindly.
Yes. That is so important, and I'm glad you said that because for those business owners out there who are listening to this, you need to study your craft before you start making a business about it, and definitely get the ins and outs of what you're going to need to be the most successful business. And I give you your flowers, girl, for just being, able to do what you're doing in your business, and you're being able to put your business out there and get meeting clients and talking with them. And, that's just great. I'm honored to meet you. I really am, because I love to meet other business owners. I love to hear about their journeys and how they got to where they are in their whole process. And I would like to ask you, like, when you meet with the new clients, what is the process of working with them up and from the beginning to the finalized project?
So generally, and that's a good question because I actually have a meeting this evening with a potential new client. The bathroom remodeling that I was mentioning to you before,
Hmm.
behind that we just finished,
Hmm.
got posted on Facebook. And that
Hmm.
same day, I had somebody reach out that they were wanting to meet with us to have us go out and do an estimate on particularly another bathroom remodeling in their home. So
Yes.
the whole conversation, and it's happened like that. They'll call me directly, they'll shoot me a text, they'll send me an email, or they'll comment or send me a direct message on the social media pages, like this particular one did. So all he literally commented was like, "Oh, I need a quote." So I'm like, "Okay." Well, I went in there, I sent him a direct message, and I kind of introduced myself a little bit and kind of got more details about what it is exactly that they wanted. So then he gave me all the details. I'm like, okay, well, what would be a good time to meet? Here's kind of like, I gave him like the option of like the availability and what we were looking at. So he was like, okay, well, we can meet Friday evening. I'm like, okay, perfect. So that's initially how it starts. I try to get a little bit of the scope of work of what it is that we're looking at, because then
Hmm.
I go back and let my spouse know, like, hey, we have a potential new client. This is kind of what they're looking at. That way we already have an idea of kind of, okay, this is the idea of what they want. Now we're going to go out in person and see exactly what needs to be done. What the initial meetings are for. And I usually will go, it'll be me and him together. We go out and meet with the clients. Excuse me. And that way we can take measurements of what they need, or they can kind of explain to us better what their vision is or what it is that they're wanting. And then that way we know, like, okay, well, what kind of material do you want? Or what kind of flooring are you looking for? Or what room in particular? And then once we're there, we've had it where they'll be like, oh, well, now that you're here, I want to do this, this, and this. Like, okay, well, yeah, that's great. Like, that's most of them be like, because we don't want to have you come back out again. And then if since you're already here, just do it all. We're like, okay, that's fine. So it gives us that opportunity to do more of a one-on-one with each of our clients, whether it's returning or whether it's new. And that way they also have the opportunity to put a face to the name of the business. And
Absolutely.
once everything, if they decide to go through with it, of course, I'll send them the estimate of what the cost of what they want is going to be. If they agree to it, then we'll move forward with everything. Kind of give them a time frame of how long it'll take, and then just kind of from there. But what I do, and the guys already know, is I'll just randomly show up at the job sites. Sometimes I won't even tell them. I'll just randomly show up because I actually go in and I check their progress and I see how everything is going, make sure that there's no issues, there's no problems. If they need any more material or anything like that, they'll usually tell my spouse or they'll call me and tell me like, hey, we need this, we need that, okay. Or I'll tell him like, hey, just go get it and drop it off to them. Because of
Mhm.
course I have a job. So I try to balance my business with my job.
Mhm.
So I do constantly check up on their work, make sure everything is on schedule, make sure there's no issues with anything, that everything is being done correctly. So
Mhm.
that so they know if they don't do it right, they're gonna have to go back and fix it.
Mhm.
So I make sure that everything is done, and that way the clients know like, oh, they're not just gonna be here and they're not gonna come back, or nobody's gonna check on their work or nothing like that. No. And I tell clients initially, everything is completed until you have done the final walkthrough and the final inspection, that you're okay with what is done. Because if anything needs to be fixed, anything needs to be repaired, or any modifications, now is the time to do it.
Mhm.
So once the clients are okay with everything, then that's it.
That's it.
That's the final say, because of course they're paying for a service, so we try to make sure we give them the best quality service that we can and do it right the first time.
I love that. And I want to kind of put an emphasis on customer service and like, why is it so important that you connect with your clients like that on that level?
Not only will you get a returning client, but I learned this from when I was at the finance company. Referrals plays a big, big, big part into lead generation in your business. If you give your clients good customer service, I'm not saying perfect because nobody's customer service is perfect, but if you actually invest the time in yourself to educate yourself on sharpening your customer service skills, you're going to be able to grow more, not only within the lead generation, because lead generation will lead to more revenue and expansion. But not only that, but then you're going to build the reputation of your business, the reputation of your brand, and the reputation of you. Because at the end of the day, yes, your business has its name, but you have a face to that name. And that's what
Mhm.
people are going to. One thing that my mentor has always told me, she's like, you want people to think of you when they hear that word carpentry. That's
Mhm.
what you're building.
Mhm. Absolutely. And because the name matters. I think I talked with somebody before and they said, your name is so important to people out there. I mean, even if you're a business, if you're an actor, your model, your music talent, something like that, people are going to remember your name for one of two reasons. They're going to remember it either in a positive light or a negative light. So, however you use your name in public is the most important thing. So, I mean, even a business, like, your business, your remodeling business, and then also, like What's Up Dallas, um, uh, I'm gonna tell you a real story. This happened. I actually had someone that told me that I needed to change the name of my magazine and my logo and my purpose of the magazine, and that I needed to be a little bit more, open to what kind of people I put in my magazine. And I had to tell him that wasn't my goal. That wasn't my vision with my magazine. I want to do something positive. I don't want to just put just anybody in my magazine. That's not how it's supposed to be. What's Up Dallas magazine is a very uplifting and positive, motivated magazine with DFW businesses, local talents, people that are just doing something amazing out there. And that's what, we started it. We started highlighting it that way. And they were just saying, no, 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 I'll pay you this much amount if you just would do a feature on me. And I'm like, but your music or your business does not align with the purpose of the magazine. And that's why I feel like your name is so important. And that's why purpose is so important. And thank you for letting me share that, by the way. I just had to get off my chest.
It's okay.
But yeah, so Yesenia, I want to put an emphasis out there as being a Hispanic business owner. What is something that you could tell our viewers out there to motivate them to also start their own business? Especially in your community. I know, a lot of people in the Hispanic community. My husband's Hispanic owned business as well. So, but he reaches clients on different levels and different backgrounds. And any word of advice you can give to a Hispanic business owner to keep them motivated, what would you tell them?
Keep going no matter what, because and I've told friends of mine as well, you have to, in business and in any professional like setting, you have to take the good with the bad. You can't pick and choose which one you're going to take and which one you're not. It's like a yin yang situation. You're going to get the good with the bad or the bad with the good. It's vice versa. So it's just learning how to take it as feedback and constructive criticism. Even if their diction is not the best, turn it into something positive. Find the positive in their criticism, because you're going to have that. And I learned that at a very early age, because of course I did dance for many years, and the criticism there is very harsh, very. So for me, because I already know how to differentiate constructive criticism from bad criticism, that's why I say that. You just have to learn to take the good with the bad, and don't let the bad bring you down. Just let it go. Because if you dwell on it, that's where you start to see the consequences of your personal affecting your professional. I made that mistake once. I'm barely coming out of it, and I learned from that mistake. So this is why I'm saying this. Don't allow your personal life to interfere with your professional life, because it will hurt bad. Your business will suffer. So just learn to turn it into constructive criticism. Yes, people's words are very harsh. I'm not saying they're not. They are. But you just have to figure out, like, okay, well, what out of what they said can I use to grow on every level, not only personal, but professional as well? What can I use that'll, what can I take out of that I can emphasize and implement into my own life, that I can use to grow, that I can use to grow my business?
Absolutely.
Turn it into something positive. Because yes, you're going, and believe me, I know, I've been there. So you're going to get people that are going to say some very harsh things. You just got to let it go, because there's no point in dwelling on it. Honestly, there's not.
I love that. Love it. That's great, solid advice. Constructive criticism and negative criticism are two different things, and people need to understand that. But I love the fact that you were saying you have to learn to take constructive criticism. And, I think for a lot of people, especially in business, there are some things that we learn as business owners that, somebody may say something negative, but, we could take that negative comment and we could turn it around to be like, you know what? Maybe that's the push that I needed, to do this more, better, because there's always those people out there. There's always those people out there.
Yes, and you're also going to run into the fact that, yes, there are other people out there who do the exact same thing that you do, but that doesn't mean they're your direct competition. At least I don't. My mentor owns a construction and management company, but I don't see her as a competition. On the contrary, she's the one that's constantly there, like pushing and pushing and pushing and making like, she'll be like, you need to get out there, you need to get out there. You want to grow, you need to get out there. Or
Mhm.
if I do something or I have a question, her husband and her own several businesses,
Mhm.
but she is always there. If I have a question about something, I'll just shoot her a text, and whenever she gets a chance, she responds. But that's
Mhm.
what I do. Is like, you don't have to view the other person as your competition, because there's things that they know that you don't, or there's
Mhm.
things that they don't. So you
Right.
can learn from each other and grow. It's just on different levels. Like a
Mhm.
lot of people, and I've had other contractors come to me and tell me like, "Oh, well, you should be so much bigger now." Yes, but I'm not gonna do it cheating my way up there. I'm
Right.
gonna do it at my own level, at my own pace, how I know that I can control and still be able to run my business successfully without getting
Mhm.
myself in problems. And they'll be like, well, you already in the law field, so you should know better. Because I know better. That's why I do things the way that I do things, because
Mhm.
I want to not only control what is happening with my business, but also learn on the way there. Because
Mhm.
there's still so much construction that I don't know and I'm learning as I go. But I want to learn the right way, and I want to be prepared to when I do get up to the level of a lot of these other contractors, or to the level of my mentor.
Mhm.
Well, I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna learn and I'm gonna grow at my own pace. It may not be as fast as other people, but I'm not in a rush and I'm not in a competition with anybody else. I have contractors now reaching out to me asking me for help. And I always tell people I'm always more than happy to help. You can shoot me a text, an email, a message on Facebook, a message on Instagram. If I don't have the answer, I will help you find the answer, because I don't know all the answers. Or if I can't help you, then I'm going to refer you to somebody that can. Or if I can help you with one aspect of your business, and I'm going to do it. I mean, everybody, and I've had a lot of people tell me, like, even from different industries, they'll be like, hey, can you help me with this? Like, I don't understand this. Like, yeah. They'll be like, oh my God, like, you're such a big help. Like, I've reached out to other people and they're like wanting to charge me for the information and their knowledge and this and that. I was like, I don't believe in that, because I've been blessed that I met my mentor, and she helps me. And part of a lot of my expansion and growth has been because of all the help that she has given me. And like she says, she wishes that she would have had somebody there with her when she started her business. So that's another thing that I've learned from her, is help others without expecting anything in return. And that's not my persona, and I don't believe that. I'm gonna help if I can in any possible way without expecting anything in return,
I
because
love
everybody needs help at one point or another.
I love that. I love that. It's very important for us as business owners to not always think that every single person that you connect with is supposed to be a client, or every person that you connect with is you're supposed to be making money off of them, because there are other ways for you to build your business without trying to make everybody a client. And I realized that too, even with being a magazine. My favorite part about owning a magazine is I get to talk to people all day long. And I love to talk to people. I was very introverted. I am not now. I am like, you can just talk to me pretty much about anything. I like to learn. I like to listen. I like to talk. I like to help people. I like to network. I like to be in the community. And I love that, especially like doing what I'm doing now. So we don't have very much time left on our interview today, but Yesenia, can you tell the people out there one more time your social media and how they can get a hold of you?
Yes, so on Facebook, you can find me with my first and last name, Yesenia Castillo. My business page is Kong Karpentry and Remodeling LLC on Facebook and Instagram.
Absolutely. Y'all better go like and subscribe and support this young lady in all her remodeling business that she is doing, just in life in general, because we are supposed to be building those bridges to help each other out. So if you're a subcontractor, if you're a contractor, if you got a specialty, something that Yesenia can also, connect with you on, please do. Please do. She's really amazing. And everybody, our audience, please go follow us on What's Up Dallas Magazine. All right, so Google me. What's up, Dallas? We are the top 9 links on these social media as soon as you search. And, go support a business, refer someone. Please follow her, follow me. We are all good. So thank you so much, Yesenia, for your time.
Having me today.
Thank you.